Flip now. What's up, everyone? This is Jordan from the Undergraduate Survival Guide. So this is our first ever in-person. This is obviously recorded post-lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, this is recorded post-lockdown. I've got a mask on anyway because, you know, you can never be too safe.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
sorry, I haven't introduced myself. What's going on, guys? I'm Jack, formerly, or betterly known,
Betterly known as what? As Jack.
yeah, betterly isn't even a word. I'm Jack, known as Jack Gilbert. Yeah.
Nice.
Me and Jordan are just going to chat today.
Yeah, man, just running through. I had an intro planned in my head as well, like a funny one, but it's completely gone out of my head.
Yeah.
What? Oh no, it's because I heard your video day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And Shane was like, "Yeah, I'm a former A-side coach."
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, no, yeah. To be fair, I got them to introduce themselves. But obviously, I thought to myself, I could introduce myself, but it's my channel, so it doesn't really make sense.
That's the thing.
But yeah, what could I say? Former left midfield for GCSE PFC. I also played for A-side. What was the difference? I can't even remember the difference now.
GCSE was like what we used when it was like GCSE versus Squeezy.
Okay, so like John Proctor stuff.
Yeah.
And then AVB was, of course.
I think A-side was supposed to be like more of us, but basically it was just you guys and Jason, right?
And Jason.
Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Josh Lyons. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. It didn't really make sense. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. That's not really my choice. As Shane said, he was the manager. So
yeah, true. To be fair, I think I would have played one, but I refereed.
You were the ref, weren't you? Fucking hell, that seems like so long ago now.
That was funny, man. What? I think I sent someone off. Was it Sean? No, I gave Sean a yellow card for like no reason.
Oh, sure.
He still brings it up to this day. He's like, yeah, I'll never forget when he booked me that game.
It feels like a lifetime ago because you kind of you only remember the good parts in your head.
Yeah.
And for us as a team, I remember with the A-side team, we were, I think we did one year 11, year 12 and year 13 summer. So that was like there was a trilogy of games.
It was what, 11 aside games?
11 aside games.
Jeez, man.
But we only won the first game. And that's because at the time, like, you know, you played like football every day at lunch. You were like really fit. But when we went into sixth form, like that's when like the drinking and drugs started to get involved. And so like by the second one by the time the second one rolled around, the year 12 summer, we got absolutely thumped. Yeah, smoked. And then the third one, I think we gave it all that because we were like, yeah, last year you had like Tony to help you out, like dig you out of the grave we put you in.
Yeah.
And then we got absolutely smashed. And then after we were just like, fuck it, we don't care.
Yeah, literally.
Let's go back to Ben's.
I forgot about Tony. And they had the foreigners, we called it back then. It's like they didn't go to St. Mark's, so they can't.
Yeah, like the alien players. Yeah, hilarious. I think who we brought back. I think Ben ended up counting as one of those players because he like left.
Oh,
he left and came back, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that was my rule actually.
Oh, was it your rule? There you go. Yeah. Good times, man. Good times.
Yeah, this summer as well we played. Well, you weren't there. But
I missed out on that.
Squeezy Ace. That was the worst game.
Was it?
It was fun, but like after 5 minutes, everyone was dead.
I was going to say, how are fitness levels?
Not good, especially with lockdowns. Because we played in like July, so that was 3 months of not going outside at all.
Yeah. It was hard to say though because some people took like lockdown 1 really seriously and tried to like rebuild themselves, whereas true. Like I guess other people on the other spectrum were just playing like Warzone every day. Yeah,
like James had infinite stamina. He'd been running and stuff. I think Ben was quite fit.
Ben's quite a big runner, I think.
But Shane. To be fair, Shane's always been like had an engine anyway, but I could just tell he wasn't the same.
He wasn't the right back he once was.
Yeah. He played in goal quite a lot actually.
Fair.
Dylan was funny.
Yeah, Dill used to be the big runner out of everyone we knew, didn't he? And
yeah.
I mean, I don't know anymore, but you know, I'm sure he's still got an engine, like you say.
I'll never forget when Dylan rode around the school.
God, do you know it's mad? There's always like new members of the family that kind of like introduce. You know, in like family gatherings. And somehow Dylan always gets brought up and his like antics at school. It's like bizarre.
I feel like everyone I know just has like 1 or 2 Dylan stories, 1 or 2 Gareth stories.
Yeah, Gareth stories as well. Oh my God.
Like, yeah, I got this friend who stole a girl's hair.
Was it James Holland stories maybe? Or like I remember Hill there was always stories of Hill. Even though I wasn't massively like good friends with Hill or like close friends with Hill, I would, you know, there was always stories that you could bring up, like, oh, this one guy at school. He's a legend, to be fair. I love that guy.
I find it funny how I don't know what your take on this is as well, but like when I talk to guys at uni about school, it's like I've always got like all these memories. Probably got the same for you. But I find it weird when there are guys like, oh, I didn't really enjoy school. Just didn't really do anything. Like,
do you know what? I completely agree, mate. Yeah, I meet a lot of people. I met a lot of people at university who didn't really enjoy school as much as I think. It's quite strange because when a lot of people, do you know what? A lot of my family even didn't enjoy school, and they went to the same school as us. And I feel like we were just really fortunate as to our year were very. I don't know. We all got on, and we all really had this like. I don't know how to describe it. We all clearly enjoyed school. It's bizarre that other people that I meet don't seem to agree. Yeah. Because this, despite the school being quite a strict school, I would say, you almost learnt to like bend the rules a bit and make it enjoyable. I think that's what was funny about it. Because it was such a like, I would call it strict. Would you? Catholic school, quite strict.
It was like strict. Definitely I would describe it as strict, but it never really felt strict.
Yeah,
because they didn't really care unless you got caught.
Exactly, yeah. I guess it was the getting caught bit that was like the strict part about it. But then again, when you think about like, I feel like when my sister perhaps didn't enjoy, like why my sister perhaps didn't enjoy school is because of like girls were really like, I feel like girls were picked on more than boys. It seemed like all the kind of the dress code and the all of that kind of jazz didn't seem to agree or not agree, but work well with the women in the school, where a lot of the school were trying to basically turn them into nuns, and that doesn't work for everyone. It's completely understandable why you would almost not rebel, but not conform to that kind of stuff. With boys, it's like your shirt's untucked, like big deal. But
the only thing I didn't like was the shoes law. Well, no, hair was actually a big problem for me.
Oh yeah, hair, yeah.
I was always getting told for my hair.
No, yeah, it was stupid as well. Like it was completely unfair with some people as well, especially with like facial hair.
Yeah, oh man.
They were like making men who were like clearly didn't want to have facial hair at a certain age. They were like forcing them to shave. Like, how weird is that?
Yeah. It's like you're just hitting puberty. Like, random things are going on to your body. It's like, nah, get rid of it.
You're getting shouted at for having facial hair.
Yeah, sent home. I'm happy I didn't have a beard until yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Same, mate. I literally only started looking in the mirror and going, oh, damn, you need to shave more regularly, mate.
Honestly, nah, but that was nuts. Other than that, I know what you mean. I think girls definitely had it tougher. Like the whole skirts and tights, that they couldn't wear trousers at all. The blazer rule, I think, wasn't that deep for guys because we didn't really care. We just rolled our sleeves up, called it a day. But I know a lot of girls complained about that.
Yeah. And again, like I feel like sometimes you just, as a personality, you get on with people or teachers a lot more. Not that you like respect your authority, but I felt like if I just put my head down for a lot of the time, other people were kind of, if you were poking your head up, it's like it's like being on the front line at war. If you're poking your head up, you're gonna get shot.
You're asking for it. Then.
You're asking for it, literally. I just kept my head down and just fucking got on with things, and that's how I think I enjoyed it more, because I would watch the things going on around me and observe to make the memories.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I feel like I was always involved in stuff, but I rarely got caught. There was one time I'll never forget it. We were doing like the wanking sound. You know when you like, put your hands together. I'm trying to describe it for like the audio, but
how do we describe this? Right,
you put like.
Let's see if we can recreate the sound for the mic.
That's it.
That's a disturbing sound there.
I gotta cut that one out.
Yeah.
And now, like, when you put two hands together and like put your 5 fingers and four fingers and thumb separate and just like hit against your knee.
Yeah.
I was doing that for like 20 minutes, didn't get caught. And then Michael Harvey like tried to copy me. Instantly, Miss Kahane turned around like, "What are you doing?"
I feel like Michael and Dylan had X's on their back.
Yeah.
Kahane was on them. No, they're all like, Kahane was lovely as well, and like I feel like towards the end of school they all kind of built that kind of bond, didn't they? At the start it was very childish thing, but as you grew up you come to care about them. I could tell that between them three anyway. I
definitely, to be fair, I never really saw Dylan much in school, to be fair, but I can definitely see that from Michael's standpoint.
Yeah,
like I feel like Kahane, she went to our last end of year mass. I think she went to Patrick's funeral.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Like, it says a lot.
Kahane was definitely part of our lives because she was part of our church.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We talk about like churches and things like we're like true religious people, but like it's something we've grown up with. But until like, I suppose, last time I went to church was Patrick's funeral. Really?
Wow. Same.
Before that, go.
Mm.
Did we go? We must have went in sixth form, mustn't we?
We
must.
Nah.
Wasn't forced upon. Oh yeah, because we had different religions come to the school, didn't we? Well, there you go. Yeah,
we had like a leavers mass.
Ceremony almost.
Yeah. Ceremony was a better word. Yeah. Oh, I used to remember the first and last time I was ever given permission to like speak during one of the masses. They left the laser, like the slide thingy next to me, the remote. I was just like changing slides randomly, shooting lasers at the priest's eyes and stuff.
Oh my god!
I got rinsed after that. I can't remember the teacher's name. She left, the Australian music teacher. She hated me.
Australian music. To be fair, we're yeah.
I don't know
how far are we allowed to like discuss kind of school in this kind of?
It doesn't matter.
Does it not matter? Oh yeah, no. To be fair, going back to the point we were starting with. Yeah, like I have really enjoyed school. I can't lie. Whereas like you say, a lot of people when we went to uni, they. Do you know what I think it is? It was strict, and if you weren't able to catch up and kind of stay within that margin of success, you were penalised for it. But I feel like if you got through to the later stages, being the later years, like you could just ride it almost. And at the end of the day, it did benefit us like massively. I'm not saying I'm massively academic, but when I went to uni, I realised I was like a better academic than a lot of the people who were around me. Which is kind of weird to say because at school I wouldn't have considered myself. But
because I guess they taught you how to work, which is important.
Exactly, yeah.
Like I wouldn't necessarily be academic, but I know how to work when I need to.
Yeah, you know how to put the afterburners on when it if it means something.
Because I think that comes from, for me personally, it came from like doing homework. So I never worked at home, but that break before maths, I could churn out like 50 questions.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's understandable.
Like you learn how to, you learn to cheat as well, I guess, but more importantly, you learn how to put the work in.
You get creative with your, not cheating, but you get creative with how you complete your work as well, I guess. Like, that's an example of what you've just given.
Yeah, being efficient, that's the word I want to use.
Efficiency, exactly. That's the word we were looking for. But yeah, no, I do feel sorry for the people who didn't really enjoy school, whether that be they were picked on or they couldn't keep up with the work, or they just had like, a lot of people just have like household problems, which occur whilst they're at school, and it's just unfair that there's just that point of their life that these things are occurring.
And
I really feel for those people because it kind of like impacts the rest of your life.
Those are important years as well.
Yeah, really important years.
For me, it kind of worked in my favor. Like I had a lot of crap going on back home, but I was like, if home's going to be trashed, let me at least enjoy school.
Which is completely understandable as well, yeah.
You're screaming, ho!
Oh, mate, so many of those random memories, which, like the shaking of the stones in the back of the holes of your shoes in like tests and things like that. How pathetic is that? But how hilarious is it?
Literally. Was it? Oh, my days. I just remembered. I think it might have been Tom or Ben, one of the two long-haired kids.
Long-haired kids.
I think it was like French verbal, like the listening exam. They put like the teacher's like, can you put all your unauthorized items in front of the class?
Yeah.
And Tom like pulls out like a spoon or something. Or
crack spoon.
Flipping nuts, but nah.
It's quite funny as well how with TikTok being popular at the moment, and like you begin to discover how everyone kind of had the same life. Everyone's lived the same life really, and some of the TikToks about the exam halls when the examiner will come over and be like, I can't help you, but I'm going to read the question out.
Yeah.
If Darren has 7 eggs. It's so hilarious, like how everyone's lived the same life, and like even down to the people who were taking exams for you, and they're all the same as well. Like how bizarre is that? So funny, mate. So funny.
So nuts. Because it's just, the system is the same for everyone. Even at uni, to be fair, to some degree, exams haven't really changed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was different for you.
I mean, I didn't really have exams.
Just loads of coursework.
Yeah, God bless. I'm so glad I left exams behind at A levels. Because not that, well, no. I feel like that was the stem of like where anxiety came from for me. Exams, for sure. I could deal with it and I could do it, but sometimes anxiety levels were high and I didn't even know what anxiety was back then. So realizing in the past, thinking, shit, that's what anxiety was. I did all coursework and final grad project, so I was blessed.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like people, you're either in one camp or the other for exams or coursework. I definitely enjoy not having coursework right now because like during COVID, I just don't do anything.
Understandable, mate. Understandable.
But I guess traditionally it's way easier.
Yeah, like I understand how people can turn up on the day and just feel like they don't want to put the work in until the last minute. Being from both camps where a lot of people I went to uni with whilst doing what do you call it, like a grad project and like coursework, and they've done that throughout college as well, and even like GCSE. From me, who's come from exams and finally being able, it truly is like relaxing to
That's mad.
Hear that it's going to be a coursework course and like a final grad project. So I was like, oh my god, like this is piss.
That's crazy.
It does almost make you like lax a bit more, which might not be good enough. But I finished with a 2-1, so I was fucking happy to. I was happy to finish with what I got.
That's what you need.
It made my uni experience a bit more chilled. So
I think like I would enjoy having coursework now to a degree because like you're always pressured, which sounds like a bad thing, but like having to self motivate is weird because I just don't do any work, and I come to June, it's like crap. Now I've got to smash all this stuff out for this exam.
I feel like, I don't know, some coursework is like a fucking 10-day exam at the end of every term anyway.
Okay.
A lot of my essays were just like, right, you've got 10 days left.
Yeah.
10 days is about enough time to take it pretty relaxing for like an amount of time. But if I always gave myself 10 days because if I did dawdle about for the first 3 or 4 days, then I still have like a week or so to like really fucking whip myself into action. I can remember some people obviously being like, yeah, I did my final grad project essay or my dissertation in 16 hours and got a first. It's like, okay, you're fucking crazy. Like it's psychotic behavior right there.
How many words is that? Like 15,000? They're doing 60. That's 1,000 hours.
It can be between, or up to. It's quite scary to be fair. The fact that they're like they have the ability to like reference, not crumble under the anxiety, have all the read-ins and books around them that would work with the essay, or like, I don't know how it works. But yeah, I was never like that. I kind of just gave myself enough time to get through.
Yeah.
Made it more fun.
Were you like consistent throughout your 3 years? Where he's kind of like, you have to do done.
I would say, does everyone's first year not count?
Most of the time, yes. I think some courses do. I've learned recently. But...
Okay, yeah. So yeah, my first year where it didn't count, I think it was just highs and lows really. I got a few passes probably, and I got a few firsts. So it was like an introduction. But that's what first year is supposed to be about, isn't it? They don't really. All they really do is expect you to pass every one. I think it is something like that.
I think most courses people don't study the same subjects going into it. Like in engineering, not everyone did further maths, so it's like they just teach you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They give you. Yeah, that's true. Actually, you go into it. No, yeah. Even with my course, even though like I went into my course, they called it a Mickey Mouse course. Oh, I haven't even said I did media production. So when I went into it, I believed it was going to be a predominantly like hands-on based course, which I hadn't really had much experience with because St. Mark's and sixth form kind of prepared me for essay based topics.
Yeah,
okay.
All good.
It prepared me for like essay based topics, which at the end of the day actually really benefited me because a lot of people, or like we had a 50-50 split on our units.
Yeah.
So there was like 6 units in the year, and it was the 50-50 based split on essay based and production based, which I felt like a lot of people at the end of the day were disadvantaged because I was prepared with a lot of essays that I wrote. I did like English lit at sixth form, so it really did prepare me for the assignments that I was given in first year. Whereas a lot of people I know who did coursework really weren't prepared and they couldn't write for shit, really. I can remember a lot of people really suffering in the first year and me thinking, oh shit, I'm not going to spend the next few years with these guys. But they did make it in the end. But what I'm saying is, I'm grateful. I'm kind of grateful that I was sixth form, like drilled the writing skills into me. I feel like that's what St. Mark's instilled in me. The relentless writing. Remember achy hands.
I wish I had more writing, because I did maths, maths, physics, like no writing at all. I hadn't seen a letter in like 2 years. And then I go to uni, it's like, okay, give us 2,000 words on why trees are.
That would have been hard. I feel for you, mate. I really do.
I had 4 projects in my first year. 4? Well, both my computer programming ones, I flopped horribly. Even though my code was like really good. Yeah. It was like, explain why you coded it this way. I was like, because I wanted to. How do I describe code? Yeah. I ended up flopping that. Even I got my results back yesterday. I failed my MATLAB project because I didn't explain it very well.
Oh, fair, man.
I'm like, I don't know I have no idea how to write 2,000 words on code, let alone anything else.
But, yeah, it's difficult. How do you write about numbers?
Yeah. It's an important skill to learn. I just never learn it. To be fair, like if I had to give advice, it's more about like reflecting, which is kind of weird. I've never had to reflect on maths before.
I feel like a lot of university is reflecting on your own skills there. Yeah. Just explaining what you're doing, I guess. I remember Rory, who would talk about coding and his cybersecurity. I remember him telling me about that in his first year. I'm thinking the same, like, how the hell do you write about that? But I guess it's just reflection based, isn't it? Really to be honest, that's a lot of my course was that though as well, because obviously being production predominant, I had to explain everything I did, which is so long. Like, and it's funny when a lot of the students would complain and be like, "No, why is there so much writing involved?" But what do you expect? You've gone to university. I felt like a lot of people. Again, I think that came with my course. Like, I don't know about you, but how would I describe it? I had a lot of people who thought university was going to be like a dawdle almost, and I felt like they weren't suited to university. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are kind of like pushed into university. Yeah. So I saw a lot of people who perhaps did a course, failed it, jumped onto our course, and still weren't prepared enough for a course like ours. I remember some guy being like, not that age has anything to do with it, but being like 25 and had like restarted 3 different courses. So he was on his 4th course now and being at our unit, in our course at uni. And I remember thinking, if that's the case, I don't know if uni's for you, mate. I'm not going to lie. Because he doesn't seem like he's obviously trying hard enough to really, or know what he actually wants to do. Which if you're spending $9,000, he spent like 36 grand and he's only in first year.
But it's just going on like trial and error.
Maybe write it down on a piece of paper first before you just jump ship again.
Oh man, that's mad.
Yeah, I was a bit like, good luck to you, mate. It'd be hilarious if he ended up being like, someone very successful in life.
That's the thing. I might check my course in Bristol, see if he's just around. Like, I was at Bournemouth last year, but I didn't really like it. That's true though. I definitely feel like, to be fair, I've kind of hinted at it with every time I talk to a St. Mark's person, we always hint at like being like forced into uni. Never gone into it in depth. Not going to do it today either. But I definitely feel like schools kind of, because it reflects good in their numbers, right? It's like we got such and such into Oxford, Cambridge.
Universities are like prisons as well. They need the students, so it's like a behind the scenes handshake. Yeah, they all need to like pass through these like unknowing students too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's sort of money making machine. So like if you manage to push through the student who's on the ropes, it's money. So
yeah, it's true.
It makes complete sense. And with a school as highly regarded as ours was, it completely makes sense to push through those students who are on the ropes, because I would say I was on the ropes. I didn't want to go to university.
Mad.
I saw myself doing like, what do you call it?
Like a what, apprenticeship?
Yeah, like an apprenticeship style where I would just kind of go into some kind of media work. But I decided to give it a go. My dad kind of pushed me into it because he hadn't been to university and really thoroughly enjoyed it in the end. So don't regret it at all.
Yeah, that's good.
Great fun.
I do feel like uni is the best choice if you don't know what else you want to do.
Yeah, and it extends your like childhood for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
which right nowadays it like seems logical, doesn't it? A lot of people are not growing up until their later 20s nowadays. I'd say.
Yeah.
20's the new 30. 30's the new 20. Other way around.
30's the new 20.
30's the new 20.
Yeah. To be fair, I do feel like, I mean, we our life expectancy as humans is longer now. I think I'm going to live to like 120. I always say it, if you look at me strange like that, like 120, geez, but like.
Yeah, but life expectancy has increased because of the healthiness of the people who are reaching that age now when they were our age, whereas like with ready meals and all the rubbish I don't know if this is true, but like having all this like technology and like waves going through us and like sleeping with phones under your pillow cannot be good for us, I don't think, anyway. Yeah. This is going into a different conspiracy route of a podcast, but
UGS
what I'm
conspiracy.
saying is personally I think the reason people are living longer now is because 60 years ago they were living properly and not eating as much sugar and that rubbish. I don't know if that's true, but that's my suspicion.
I hear that. That's
why do you think you're going to live to 120?
In my head, it's like my granddad passed at 92. So if he could live from,
which is quite old for a male.
Yeah, exactly. So he was born in 1918, I guess. Quick maths? No, that's not right. 1920. I don't know. He was born a while ago, and it's like if you can go from like 19 whatever to 2020, with that level of tech. Yeah, you've seen a lot go on as well. To be fair,
yeah.
But like the medical supplies back then were garbage. Like,
yeah, that's a good argument. To be fair,
like I think I can at least get to his age because he did it.
Yeah,
and then with modern tech, surely that's an extra like 20% of life.
But I suppose it depends how your grandfather treated his body at your age, though.
That's true.
Do you know any details about your grandfather's young age?
No idea. Yeah. I mean, my parents, all of my grandparents are super religious, so they probably like never drank anything.
Yeah, hard to say.
But even still, I don't think I'm like unhealthy that I'm gonna.
No. I'm not saying that you're unhealthy, but I just mean like it depends how healthy they were at that age. The fact that I would say in the past, their letdowns were probably alcohol. I suppose as the war passed, some people began to eat more lavishly and were able to kind of
what the boomers
just indulge a bit more. I feel like I'm pretty sure my dad's dad died of a heart attack. He was quite overweight.
Oh, mad.
But I'm pretty sure like that generation began to indulge a lot more, which kind of leads down to our parents' generation, who you can tell are a lot more unhealthy. I would say. But for us, there's almost like there's like a fitness revolution almost going on. Not
right now, yeah.
Yeah, there's not like that in the 80s and 90s. There wasn't, because of there was like there was all that quick walking and like power walking, and like sport came into it, and I guess Phil Knight made Nike in the 80s, and that's all to do with running, and there is the revolution. But now I would say there's a true like look at yourself and kind of give yourself the best chance at living a bit older with this whole fitness thing. So I can understand what you're saying. I can understand why, especially with medical advancements, that there's a better chance for us living older.
I might make a whole YouTube video on it, like my thoughts on living to 120.
Do it, mate.
I don't know. I think there's a lot that goes into it, but even as well, survival of the fittest to some degree.
Yeah.
Like I imagine all the less fit guys. Like, I mean, I'm kind of hoping my mum didn't get an unfit guy to kind of set me up, but
no, that mate. Yeah, that's another mate. That could kind of lead us down to another topic of COVID and survival of the fittest.
Yeah. All the smokers have been taken out.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I survival of the fittest and humanity. That's what it's based on. So for us to be, it's this whole topic of genetically would you call that genetically modifying? But like medicine aiding the weak to make them continue to live. What's your opinions on that?
I actually had a similar chat with my brother about it not long ago, and he was like, "Oh, I think it's terrible how the weak, the quote unquote weak, are sticking around." And I was like, to be fair, this might be a controversial take, but I think mental health, the way it's become a big thing nowadays, I think that's kind of like nature putting another barrier into it.
Very true.
I think I'm gonna get a stick for that for saying
no.
Sure,
I can understand what you're saying. Because
I think we kind of reached peak. What's a good word for it? Like back in the days, like you got a car to upgrade from a horse, or you got like a plane to upgrade.
We're making constant upgrades. We're advancing as a race.
Yeah, but we kind of plateaued now.
Yeah,
like an electric car is not really much better than a normal car. I mean, it kind of is, but
completely understand. Not. We're making, at the moment we've plateaued, but we're making everyday life easier, but by using like user friendly technology.
Yeah,
which is almost kind of backfiring on us, or to a certain degree, and that's from what we've realized in the past 2 decades, and that is the most recent of technology. So if we can already reflect like you do on your essays at university, if we can already reflect on that, and it's only been like a few years since this technology's come out, I don't know that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it seems like we might start going backwards, and you can understand that through perhaps mental health, which might be an effect of that, and almost showing why these advancements might not be good for us as a race.
Yeah. I mean, I think they will be in the long run. I don't think there's anything wrong with tech, but I think
us.
Yeah, I mean, it is, in my opinion, at least. Because, like, I think it's the first time in history where we can't learn anything from our parents in saying that my grandma would have told my mum, like, I don't know, study law because law's going to be earn a lot of money. So, yeah, okay, I'll study law. And, like, she didn't do law, but it would have worked if she did. Whereas our parents are like, yeah, you want to go to uni, you want to, all this other stuff that, you know, obviously you and I both know, getting a degree, learning a trade, etc., etc. None of that's applicable nowadays. Like my mum could have equally said, if my mum bought me a camera at 10 years old, so yeah, make a YouTube channel. I'd be rich right now.
I think about that a lot, you know, like seriously, my degree literally came off the back of me making YouTube videos when I was like 13. I knew I liked making videos. I knew I liked entertaining people. At the time I was like, yeah, I want to be like an actor. I want to go into film and stuff.
Yeah.
My part-time this is at 13 years old, like entertaining people on YouTube. Now it is a business career. It's a format that people can actually go into, and the fact that I guess young creators like ourselves, we're doing that at the age where it was in its foundations, and like it's cool to see. But yeah, like you say, like it's definitely a time where we're unable to.
It's like text moving faster than a wheel.
Yeah, we're almost unable to learn from our immediate predecessors, but in the bigger picture, we probably are able to see patterns, but we're just too lazy to see it at the moment, I reckon. Sure. But no, yeah, you're right. There's jobs are popping up. Well, they're not now because of everything going on, but
not in 2021.
But with technology improving, there's definitely a lot more work evolving.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I guess my point as well, following from that, is like, we're at a point now, people, like, yeah, the new iPhone's faster than this current one, but what does that really do for you? And then people are consistently trying to like upgrade, get these new jobs, learn the new trades and stuff. But it's not much better than it was before. And I think people we see like the quote unquote better life, but mentally it's like things are exactly the same. And then that's why people get, I mean, it's kind of naive for me to like try and just explain what mental health issues are. Like, obviously it's way more complex than that, but
until you've really experienced it like severely, you can't comment on something if you don't know the negatives of it. I guess you can comment on it, but you can't truly.
I don't know. I'm not speaking facts in it. I'm just saying.
We're just rambling. But no, I understand what you're saying.
This is the new weakness, I guess. I hate saying that. I feel like I'm gonna get so much crap for saying
no,
is a weakness. But.
No, yeah, it's an effect of. It's a what's the word? What is the word?
I don't know. I do engineering, man. I don't know words.
It's a It's an effect of new things happening, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to say, but that's also naive because mental health has definitely been about for as long as we've existed.
Yeah, it's just like physical health.
It does, exactly. And that I've always thought of that. Like, I wonder what having mental health issues was like in
back in the days,
medieval times. Like,
but I guess like you have more important things to worry about. Like, there's something that I thought about this literally on the way here, because like I feel like in coloured communities, like especially I'll talk for me, like my black parents, they don't really believe in that stuff. It's like, oh, you're sad? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But back in the days when life was actually tough, you couldn't really afford to be sad because you had to like survive.
You have to survive, yeah. It's completely understandable. It's almost as if like through a more for a lifestyle where we're able to have deeper thoughts and we're a lot more not at one with ourselves, but almost that, because we begin to realize what's like the deeper meaning of things and having a more bigger, I don't know, we're rambling on stuff that we don't really know, but
yeah, nothing so far has been like useful.
But I know I completely understand what you're saying in the least like offensive way possible. That it's completely understandable that these, and the stats won't lie, that having I don't know, mental health has increased, or like the commonness of mental health has increased off the back of this technology, which where young children are now obsessed with social media, which definitely they shouldn't have access to, really. Let's be honest. I don't think so.
Not at all. Well, I mean, it's interesting because like I feel like most kids just get involved in, you know, I guess quote unquote dangerous tech through their parents, or through, I guess, lack of
laziness.
Parents,
lack of parenting. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I give my son an iPad. Screw it. I don't want to take him to the park.
Easy. Exactly. It's laziness. Not to say that I wouldn't fall into those same cycles if I was a parent, because I have no knowledge of how to deal with it myself. But it does seem lazy, doesn't it? Maybe we'll see a change. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Find out in the next episode of Parenting with Jack and Jordan.
Yeah, after the break.
After
Jordan and Jack talk.
After the break.
I actually do have to start adding quote unquote breaks for like ads and stuff.
You love saying quote unquote as well.
Yeah, because I'm worried that
they're going to take it wrong. No,
someone's going to like put a quote up online of like, oh, Jordan said mental health issues a week.
Yeah, but that's what a podcast is about. It's
getting cancelled.
Getting cancelled. No, it's about rambling on and like just like learning, like everything. I try and make it clear with people I talk to. I always tend to say not what's on my mind, because I do think about things, but I tend to say things out loud and don't mean them. I live my life very much trying to play devil's advocate by whenever someone says something, I always try to not defend the other person, and that's what the other person might see as me defending them. But I always try to make the person I'm talking to see the other side of the story, because it resolves a lot of I don't know. It resolves conflict. It resolves conflict, and I really don't like conflict. I like see, because it comes from miscommunication a lot of the time. So if you can make that person see the other side, and you being the middle ground for the person you're talking to, if like they're your friend or example. It's hard to do that with a girlfriend, because with women, you try and trying to talk your girlfriend down, or trying to describe a situation to her, making it seem if you're on the other side to her. It's offensive, but
it's called mansplaining, isn't it?
But the point is, you want to be with someone who is level-headed enough to see what you're trying to explain. I've always done that, but what was the point we were talking about?
I don't know.
My fault.
To be fair, it is interesting. Like, I guess as a segue from like a media standpoint, because I feel like communication is generally quite hard, and even if you can communicate extremely well, it's even harder for us to assume the next person's understanding you. And I feel like you see a lot of these ad campaigns where it's like, oh, what was that one, like the Pepsi one last year or a couple of years ago, like Kendall Jenner fucking
Pepsi can ending racism or something.
And you see all this like crazy campaigns, all these things that always just go wrong. Like, you know, real world examples of like poorly communicating your message and having negative circumstances to that.
Well, funnily enough, a cool segue to that is recently this you'd call him a language specialist on YouTube. Passed away. I'm not sure whether it was to do with he took his own life or health issues, but he was a young black man who was a language specialist. So spoke. He was multilingual. He's, I don't know what you call it, multilingual, multilinguist, something along those lines. But it's cool to see when he would go to talk Mandarin to Chinese people, and they would be so shocked. Because I've seen all these videos of, like, say, a black guy takes off his Iron Man mask, and the Chinese people are scared of the black guy because they haven't seen a lot of black guys or something like that.
Trying to, but
it was really lovely to see this man talk and make these people feel at home and comfortable with this guy, and ended up somewhat becoming not friends, but he was, oh, come down to my shop, I'll feed you. Like, how language really unlocks and communication really unlocks like human not empathy, just being more kind, and
you can like interact better.
You can interact better, but purely for this guy, talking to this guy, he almost welcomed him into his home, and it was really beautiful to see through just that. And it's a shame to see that he passed away, but like you say, communication really is key, and we just seem to have none of it. Really, it becomes clear as you grow up, like talking with people, or how alcohol really, really affects communication. What was I going to say? Another thing, though, I guess through Twitter as well, not having the ability to really show what you really mean through your tweets. I was watching a True Geordie podcast. I don't know if I can say that on your podcast. I was watching
competition right now.
I was watching a True Geordie podcast the other day, and he had James Arthur on.
Oh man, okay. I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah. So he was kind of the first thing they delved into was how James Arthur had some form of like online beef with some other YouTubers.
Wow. Okay.
And it was purely through, it became quite apparent that James Arthur is very caveman in his social media presence. Like, he doesn't understand what new social media is. And for a young person, that's quite, it's quite strange to see,
it's
really.
Quite rare.
No, I guess he's not really our age. I'm pretty sure he's like early 30s. So like, it's understandable, but he got into some form of like beef with some of these YouTubers who said some things which is just normal. It's like Modern Warfare 2, like Modern Warfare 2 chat lobby beef. But he took it so to heart and was really like thrown off by it. He was like, "Why would you say something about someone's nan?" I remember thinking like, don't understand it. He was like, "Yeah, you know, he was like, I give the banter and all that, but obviously you don't give the banter if you don't understand that shit nowadays." But it's true. It's true. And then True Geordie was like, "Mate, I need to kind of like educate you in new social media and the way we communicate, because you don't take that to heart. It's like water off a duck's back for a normal person nowadays, and you've got to understand." But it's true. He was saying like Twitter, you need to really be educated in Twitter because it's just like a language in its own, isn't it? Really.
It's weird because it's like there are no rules there either. Like, there's some things you can't say in real life, but you can stay on Twitter and it's fine.
Literally, it's lawless. Like that place in America in the desert where there's like everyone just lives and there's no laws. That's what Twitter is.
True.
What is that called? That place in the desert. It's like its own city or something. I don't know. Quite scary to think. I want to do a documentary.
That'd be mad. I want to do a documentary of I saw like a Twitter, talking about Twitter, saw a video at this roller coaster somewhere where it's like it's got 3 specially designed loops where if you go on it will kill you.
What, like the whirly dirly?
Basically like the whirly
Is it called the whirly dirly by any chance? Yeah, you don't actually die.
Imagine that. But I think it's in Sweden. And it's like their approach to like...
the whirly dirly. No, that was so... the whirly dirly, huh?
Oh yeah, shout out to my Swedish viewers, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Swedes.
No, I can't remember where it is, but yeah, it's like it's their approach to like euthanasia instead of like, because it's illegal to euthanize.
Euthanize, euthanize. It's legal here.
Yeah.
But in
so they just
Sweden,
made a flipping roller coaster. Said, yeah, just jump on that.
No way. It's actually a fucking killer roller coaster.
Yeah, it's actually real.
Oh, so it's a technique to kill someone.
Yeah. Because like the G-force is so powerful on the third spin or something that it just
fucking hell. Oh, I thought you were like not joking, but I didn't really understand.
Like
it's actually like a euthanasia technique. Oh my god, that's really I guess if that's one way to go, but isn't that more wouldn't that drive more anxiety? Because the whole point of not liking going on roller coasters is that you will die.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'd be like, you might love roller coasters, but the fact that you might die.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange twist. But I'd love to find the guy who lived and record him, document his life. Like the boy who lived. I might just etch a scar on his head.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, we're in a roller coaster.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
This coaster tried to kill me.
Yeah.
But now, flipping out. How long has this been? 46 minutes.
We've been chatting.
Of roller coasters.
This is just the intro.
Yeah.
It is. We've just been chatting. So, guys, welcome to the podcast. This is me, Jack, and Jordan. And yeah, today that was the introduction. So, we've kind of delved into education already. We've also touched on Twitter.
Yeah, tweet culture. I can't remember. What did we start talking about? Oh, school.
We were talking about school, and I thought that was going to be the kind of introduction for us to kind of delve into it. But we went into university after anyway.
Yeah. I do feel like, obviously people that listen can feedback afterwards, but I feel like it's better if you have 5-10 minutes, because most people experience the same. Uni's kind of the same for most people, barring if you have any obviously family issues or personal stuff, and obviously course deviances. But other than that, I don't even know what else to say. It's how was final year?
Yeah, uni's the same. To be honest, for
Talk me through a day in the life of a media
I know we're
student.
now jumping back from uni to Twitter to mental health to communication, and then back to university. I guess that's all part of communication.
Yeah, this is active learning.
Yeah, this is active learning, exactly. An average day in a media production student. Hard to say. There was a lot of learning involved. Like I kind of touched on earlier, I went into so I talked about how sixth form prepared me for the writing and all the kind of actual that side of uni. Because of sixth form and me not doing a lot of hands-on work, I then went into uni not knowing a lot of stuff. So a lot of university was trial and error learning curve for me.
Yeah,
which I suppose it is for a lot of people. But with the advancements in technology, constant advances in technology, and me having to keep up with how to actually do something.
Yeah.
It was interesting that a lot of my time was taken up kind of just editing. I guess sound based as well. I had to learn a lot of software on the computer, Adobe kind of. Not that I touched on everything in Adobe, but we were given professional classes on a lot of things. Stuff that really seeps out of your head immediately. It's just like anything, things like playing pool at university. I became really good at it at one point, but if you don't do something constantly, it's gonna leave you quite quickly.
Yeah, I was a master at table tennis until I played this Vietnamese international kid.
Right,
he smoked me. I didn't touch it again. Tried again. 3 months ago. Just couldn't even pick up the bat. I was
exactly.
But yeah, as you were saying.
But no, yeah. So a lot of uni for me was kind of just picking up technology and equipment, and just having to learn it. Really, we were given tutorials where people have tutorials for whatever subject they have. We basically were just brought into a class. They would whip out I think it's a Sony X1000 maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know
the equipment. A massive film camera basically, and they would just give us a few lessons on how to use a driving lesson. Really simple as that. There's nothing much more to explain really. I in terms of writing, I would get down to that in the last few days. I don't really know. We'd obviously do we'd have readings to do every week, but I can't even remember. I can't even remember reading that much. I'm not gonna lie.
What was your
Yeah, give me actual like specific questions, because I in terms of like my day-to-day life, it was we would have practicals early in mornings. Lectures would be based on like writing based units, which is understandable. That's like everyone else.
Did you do anything that wasn't, I guess, practical, in a sense where obviously you learn how to like edit? You probably learn about like frames and like different angles and crap. I don't know.
We would have. Yeah.
Did you do anything that was like strictly academic, like on the watch this film and give us feedback on something?
No, we didn't. We would look into, so like, for example, I suppose we did actually. One of my units was called Extreme Art Film.
Okay.
So for one of these units, there was like 8 topics that we could have looked into, and you had a selection of 2, and you would choose one for the one you really wanted to do, and then the second would be
just to get the
marks. You would be given basically.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And you would like, I don't know why they did this at uni, but rather than it just being completely random, you had to put like your foot in the door and do it. I understand why that makes sense, but a lot of the time, like, you would almost be late to the deadline because they would give you like, they would give you like the space of one lecture to put this in. So one of these units, I think I got Extreme Art Film as the one that was random.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Extreme Art Film is absolutely ridiculous. Some of the films I had to watch. Oh God. Extreme Art Film is basically films that how do I describe this in the most simplistic and interesting way? Films that,
in my head, it's just like, you know, on YouTube, like an extreme challenge. It's just like a bunch of guys on film just throwing paint at the camera.
What do you think what would you think if you were to be given that subject, clean slate? What do you think Extreme Art Film would involve?
I assume an art film is something that's more like they care a lot about specific angles and like making things look really presentable. And when you put the word extreme in front of it, I just think it's like blue. It's just like Smurfs or something. I don't know. It's something really something you can't really appreciate as like a normal viewer, but you have to be like observing something.
So you kind of think it's to do with like extreme artistic values and
like Big Les
and looking into no, I suppose that could be, but like extreme artistic values and making a masterpiece. Yeah. Well, it's not that. It's to do with extreme scenarios, or how would you describe it? Basically, it's about sex, murder, violence, and death. Basically,
what are like 18 plus stuff?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find better words for it, but it involves topics that are huge, like really extreme, and not for your average viewer.
Yeah.
So I looked into 3 films.
That's mad.
The first being, what do you call someone who's addicted to sex? I can't think of the word. What's the word?
This is some BDSM type of stuff, man.
Right. Okay. So after that long research, the film Nymphomaniac. You can imagine a nymphomaniac. Literally, it's about this young woman on a train who's addicted to sex. And I'm pretty sure she like shags everyone on board.
Flipping hell.
That's just like the tip of the iceberg, because you can kind of imagine like films. You can kind of imagine like popular films nowadays having a similar plot to that. To get more extreme, I don't know how much you like putting on this podcast, but this is quite dark. But yeah, it's a Serbian film. It is in Serbian, I assume. And it's about a porn star who is out of the game. He's married and has got a kid now. These evil gangsters, to cut a long story short, want to get him back in the game for one last film.
Okay.
They're a really bad gang. They've got something on him, I'm pretty sure. They said they'll share it if he doesn't do it. He gets into it. It's really dark. It's really disgusting. I'm pretty sure one scene, one of the evil bouncers puts his...
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. And then
how did they record that?
The final scene in the film is he's he's in this warehouse. There's 2 bodies that are there that are left to. I don't know how deep you want to go into this. Do you want me to continue?
I kind of want to hear it, but I will cut it out.
That is the most. Honestly, I had to. So yeah, if we're cutting back in now, where your viewers are now going to be able to hear, I've just described the most gruesome, disgusting. If you want to see what the Serbian film is about, go look it up for yourself. It is truly disgusting.
What's it called?
A Serbian film.
Oh, it's just called a Serbian.
It's called. What's it called? A Serbian film. No. What's it called? No, yeah, it's called a Serbian film. It is really rank.
That's mad.
Yeah, that was really disturbing. I had to get a few of my friends involved, so it didn't look like I was just watching these like sick films on my own. Honestly, it's nightmarish.
Mad.
I remember going through like a rough time at that time as well at uni, like not really enjoying it that much, and I was having to do that as my like units. That was my getaway at uni. No, but yeah, but the film I actually ended up doing my essay on for that one was a film set in the Amazon in the 60s, I believe.
Okay.
A lot of films nowadays, they say no animals were hurt in the making of. This film, there was suspicion that a few animals were actually killed in the filming of it, and to make it worse, there was suspicion that an actual cast member had died in the filming because of the filming. Like they had done it purposely, but they'd covered it up. We don't know if that was speculation because it was an actual extreme art film.
Yeah.
And that was to gain media controversy to kind of make people watch the film. It was a pretty good film. It was about it was about people documenting going into the jungle and one by one being killed by things in the jungle. Like tribes people.
Yeah. Kind of like Hunger Games, but just
extreme. But like real life. Like it was quite scary. I remember. I think it's a 60s or 70s film. But that's what I did the essay on, because I feel like it was a bit more tame and a bit more like an actual film than a Serbian film or the Nymphomaniac film, because those are just downright like I don't know what type of people kind of go into filmmaking and go, that's what I want to make the film on. I can understand if you're like a sexually driven person, you might want to go into porn or something, but like where do you I
guess if there's a market for it, I get it. Because technically,
is there a market for it though? What kind of
just media production students?
Yeah, it's literally lecturers telling their students to watch these. That's the market.
They probably know a guy. The same way schools have that behind the doors handshakes. It's like,
there you
just
go.
make a film where there's a girl on a trainer. Just that sector. I'll get you at least 50 views.
I completely understand the sexual ones because people always have really weird sexual fantasies,
yeah.
But I get like some people are nymphomaniacs, and I would understand if that was the case. Like that might have happened, and that could be a film.
Yeah.
However, a Serbian film, there's no way. Insert bleep. There's no way that.
Yeah, no, that's really.
Yeah.
Even picture.
I would say watch it for yourself to have a watch. Yeah. I don't know if you want to watch
I want to see the scene. I want to see how they actually.
Yeah.
They got a guy to like.
Seriously. Yeah, it's disgusting. You go watch it with Stocks and Shares. I think that would be a good watch between you two. Yeah, but that was one of my units in second year, I think. One of the
It sounds like your course is at least one that is worth the money. Because it's not like you're going to get to do. Maybe the film's a bit different, but like you're not going to get to use Premiere. Just
no, yeah. Do you know what? I didn't go through. I did go through. I don't know about anyone else's course, but at times where you're like, this is worth $9,000.
Yeah.
What is this? There weren't as many of those as I thought there was going to be. I did quite enjoy my course. It was kind of like school. Like some people didn't really enjoy the course, but I went through it and I was like, oh, fair enough. Like I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was we were given access to like technology for free.
That's good. Yeah.
We had all the camera equipment, like despite us not using it as much as we probably should have as students. we were given like free reins of like renting equipment and going out and filming projects and stuff like that, which is really good, I guess.
That's great. But if you were doing like YouTube, you were, to be fair. But if you took it more seriously, you could rent it out like a massive.
Exactly. That's what I mean. No, studios and everything. We were allowed to rent out studios and things like that. And I really do regret like not using it more at the time. But that's university. Like you're always going to have regrets. At uni, we were just having fun. Realistically, you had your education, but you had your fun on the side. If we were smarter, probably would have like rented stuff and actually tried to do like YouTube a bit more seriously, but you live and learn. I guess part of that is I was practicing my trade and now I can put it into play.
That's the thing, yeah.
Which is something I guess like if I hadn't have gone to uni and I had just got work or an apprenticeship, that wouldn't have taught me, because I wouldn't have been dipping my, what's the saying? I wouldn't have been dipping my hand into different pies, I guess. You would have had one pie to kind of dip. Don't know if that. I guess when you're in apprenticeship, you're like the guy from In Betweeners putting his dick in a pie. Whereas like me, I was putting my fingers in loads of different pies and testing out which I prefer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
when you're doing an apprenticeship, it's like having a girlfriend. When you're in uni, it's like being a nymphomaniac.
There you go. Reflecting on our chats. Yeah, no, you're right. Exactly. I was allowed to be a nymphomaniac throughout university. Yeah, it was good fun. I really, really do miss it already. And it was only 2 years ago now. So I would just say to anyone who's currently at university, just try and I guess just live in the moment, really. As much as you would like to say, like, as much as I tell my cousin, like, do this, do that, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. At the same time, living in the moment is just part of life, isn't it? As much as you want to say appreciate this, you want to get drunk on a Wednesday night, or I guess Wednesday night is actually quite normal.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to get drunk on a Monday or Tuesday night, get fucked on a Monday or Tuesday night. Like, nothing's stopping you, especially when you get a house in second. It goes off the walls, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
But it's all part of growing up. I'd have to say university definitely makes you grow up. It invites you to be the person you should be.
That's such a good point. Because the first time you haven't got proper responsibilities, but you also do, like paying rent.
Yeah, so, to a degree, you have to pay rent. But for me, I was given the largest grant.
Oh man, that's good, man.
Yeah, and I guess you don't pay bills either when you're in halls. So that for me was just it was actually a termly, so it would come out. So from the start of the year, I would just have the money that I had left over to just crack on with.
Yeah.
At the same time, you do run out of money, even despite me having the maximum loan. Just it's like the more money you make, the more money you can spend. Simple as that. Right?
That's the thing. Yeah. Did you ever learn to be like? I mean, obviously you have your own place now, but like to be like properly financially savvy, or was it just like student loans in? Let me just slap it all on Chelsea.
Nah, yeah. I've always been my dad's always taught me to be fairly stingy as it is.
That's good.
So I've always had that instilled in me where I have some sense of money, I would say. I would still say I'm quite silly with money sometimes, as you are when you're at university, like where I would say, oh, I want to stay in tonight, and then you have one drink, and then by the time you know it's 4 a.m. and you're in a club. that was university. Yeah, that was university. Now, obviously, Corona affects things, and I'm not in the job that I want to. I'm on I'm on the verge of getting the job that I want to have. It's hard to be savvy with money as well when you have a girlfriend where I would happily just eat the same like simple shit.
Chicken and rice every day.
Yeah, chicken and rice, tuna wraps and shit like that.
Yeah.
And not that it's a negative and that you don't want to eat the best of the best, but if you could be a lot more savvy with your money if you with a girl. And I'm not saying that it's a negative, but yeah, like I say, I would be a lot more savvy with my money if I was on my own still. But I guess that's
do I have to cut this out because she hears it?
No, not at all. No, I've told her that myself. Like, it's completely understandable. Like,
I get you.
You want to have the best, and you want to have a home when you're living with your missus. That's
it's kind of asking you to be more human, I guess, because you can afford to just be like a potato when you're on your own.
Exactly. Like, all I cared about when I was at uni was like fitness, and like I would literally eat tuna, veg, rice every day.
Yeah.
And drink alcohol, and that's all I would spend my money on in terms of food and drink, and go to the gym.
Yeah.
As soon as I got a girlfriend, it was more like, oh, okay, we can have this tonight, we can have that tonight, and you begin to be you get a lot more spenny with your money, basically.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing. It's just about growing up and being in a relationship, isn't it?
I remember with my ex, she took me to an Arsenal game for my birthday. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy myself a shirt, and I'm like, oh fuck, now I've got to buy her one as well.
Oh, did you actually?
Yeah, I ended up buying one. I was looking around the whole shop, and I really want to buy half of this stuff, but it's like I can't just buy a shirt for myself and just sit there.
I mean, you could.
I guess you kind of can, but it's like
she doesn't support. Did she support? Like, I went to a Chelsea game. I wouldn't. Yeah, literally.
I don't know. I thought it was weird. I'm just sitting there like a fucking flag, like that.
You're like Ty. You've got the
full Arsenal kit.
You wink at the camera as you go in the stadium.
She's just hearing like all black. I'm like, oh man.
Bloody hell.
No, I know what you mean though. You definitely the pockets get deeper when you're.
I think the point what I'm relating to is like the more money you have, the more money you spend. So being with your girlfriend, you've got now 2 incomes, and you can afford to spend a lot more. Is what I'm trying to say. And I could live like a little rat and eat tuna, vegetables, and rice every day, but is that like? Am I going to do that consistently for the rest of my life? No.
Yeah, it's true. And to be fair, like uni was like 3 years, 4 years, you're in and out. Whereas now you're living your actual life.
That's it. This is it now. The tutorial's over. Tutorial Island is done with.
Exactly, yeah.
That's it. Do I want to go on and start wood cutting or mining or killing rats in Varrock? No. I guess you don't get that.
Pickaxe, man.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Going back to what you're saying, I can be savvy with my money, but I wouldn't say I am. At the moment, I wouldn't say I am. Once things are a bit more stable, because I'm renting at the moment, that's money pissed out.
Yeah.
Like, I could be living at home, but I would have a tiny room, single bed, wouldn't be with my girlfriend. Is that what I want to do? Nah.
Yeah.
There's no point in doing that. So I'm happy to kind of spend the money every month just to enjoy the moment, I guess is what I'm doing at the moment.
That's an important distinction as well, I guess. Because some people think like being savvy with money means like being stressed all the time, having like the bare minimum. But to some degree, you have to enjoy yourself. Like,
yeah,
I can see what you mean. It's better to live out and spend a bit more money than.
Yeah, as much as it pains me, because I would very much like to hold on to every penny. But at the moment, I just see myself in a very. I'm not going to be in this job very long. I probably won't be living in this space very long. I want to do other things. I want to go traveling. So the money I have is very fluid at the moment because I might work for it, but I know it's going to go anyway. So there's no point saving it because I don't have any savings. So that's a future Jack problem currently. And as much as I think to myself, it's annoying because if I was saving now and being savvy with my money, it would put me in a better financial situation in the future. I know that I am going to adopt a career where I am going to have enough money to do what I want anyway. So I'm not too worried about it. I try not to stress about it. So money comes and goes, experiences don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like I'm a big advocate for like I'd much rather spend $1,000 on a holiday than like a new TV. Well, TV is different, but like jewelry or something. Because an experience is like that stays with you forever.
Exactly.
Whereas like if I buy a cheeseburger, that's gone in 20 minutes, and
you get
half is going to be on my shirt. So
yeah, and you'll be fat as well.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, I hear you.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, but I feel like at such a young age, might be immature of me to say that. I might be being very naive, but
yeah, I mean, if it were me, I'd say you should learn quicker, sooner rather than later.
No,
it's hard to learn. Once you, like as you said, the more money you have, the more you spend. So.
in terms of learning, yeah, I don't. I mean, like I don't know what I have to learn to actually be more savvy, but I just mean in terms of actually holding on to my money. That's what I'm okay with at the moment. Like, there's a lot of coming and going at the moment, so I'm not too bothered. Especially when you're spending like £600 a month renting a place like this.
Is that each or
each?
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. That's with bills. It's about 500 quid and then bills.
Yeah,
fucking sucks.
That's actually not terrible, to be fair. In my first year, I was paying £150 a week, which is £600 a month.
Is that bills included?
Yeah.
That is £600 a month. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I know this is going to be temporary, so it's like I don't mind sacrificing a year just to kind of like sense the situation. Like,
yeah. Because I guess like, let's say you're planning to live for 2 years. You know that within the 2 years I'm going to earn this much. Someone's going to be rent, some's going to be whatever, but the rest I'm just going to fuck about with. And in 2 years' time, I'll start from zero with a job that I actually want.
Exactly.
And then et cetera, work itself out.
Yeah. I know I don't have to be like financially worried either. So I'm just living in some people are like living in their bedrooms playing Xbox every day and like not doing much, and I just tried to tell myself that I might not be in a great situation, but someone else is doing a lot worse, and maybe we should concentrate on helping them out rather than like me who's just fucking about. I don't know. That was a bit random, but I don't know what I'm trying to say though.
No, I get you. I do want to ask, I guess, the last topic of two topics, like about YouTube and stuff and creativity. Like, how have you? Because I caught up recently with your videos, but like, what's your plan outside of like doing these challenges, football content? Like,
that's a tricky one, to be honest. I've been struggling that myself for the last 5 years.
I feel like it's your best asset. As like, if you want to work in media, you can literally build a whole portfolio on your own in here. So
exactly. I've always kind of wanted to go into the kind of acting. I always kind of wanted to go into acting or like presenting.
Mad.
But I found myself very like technology savvy and uploading on YouTube when I was younger. So then when I got to the stage where I realized, where I dropped YouTube almost when I was like, I don't know, 14, 15, where it became like a bit embarrassing and you kind of stopped it for a bit whilst you were kind of like trying to chase girls.
Those were the days.
Yeah, like those were the days. You wish you carried it on, but
girls are way more important than YouTube.
At that stage, I wish I somehow like combined both, but yeah, at that stage, I'm
like a dating guru on YouTube. Today I'm gonna go to the mall.
They do those things where they interview drunk like uni students and get girls and shit. That's a weird branch of YouTube, but it exists. So I went down the media route and kind of I've began to realize that what I'm kind of into is sport, which I can talk about.
Yeah.
And if I go through that route with YouTube, kind of commentating on sport, maybe one day I could eventually reach a position where I am like doing some kind of commentary or presenting or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a long shot because I'm sure loads of different things will come along the way. Yeah. But really at the moment, it kind of just helps me with editing. I've got a lot of projects lined up work-wise where I'm like working for the police on projects for their social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which was my grad project, which I didn't even talk about, but I basically did a short documentary with the police and their taser division for basically called Perceptions of Taser, and I interviewed people who were high up in the police. I interviewed a guy from Amnesty International and basically built up some perceptions of the positives and negatives of taser use by authorities in the UK.
Mad.
That was really fun, and it was called Grad Project, and they loved what I was doing. I got an award for it the other day, which is really cool. So I've got something for my CV already, but they basically, in that award ceremony, the woman who employed me, or part employed me, was like, "Oh, you'll always have work when I need it." So I'm very fortunate to have that as like a backbone to my work for the next few years, But in terms of creativity and YouTube, I'm not going to lie, I've always kind of been sucked into the whole YouTube game, and I would love to be like a YouTuber as a career, because it is such a...
It's vibes, man.
It's vibes. It's vibes.
You want, basically.
Literally. I'm almost branching off a career off my failed attempt at being a YouTuber. So what I've been doing recently in this whole posting, like basically trying to get into actually making content, I've been wanting to do that for the past like 5 or 6 years, like solidly. And I've finally got the equipment that's going to allow me to do it. So yeah, I'm just kind of seeing where it goes. But like I say, like I'm interested in sport. I've got a lot of, it started off where I was doing like those fitness challenges last year.
Yeah.
And then me and Shane, as you know, and Tom and Rory, sat down in the first lockdown and was like, right, let's kind of use this lockdown to be creative. We had a few ideas going around, and we ended up fucking about and writing a pilot episode to a football television program. The first episode of that at the start of lockdown. We've kind of lost track of that recently, and we haven't touched it in a while, but there's a pilot episode there which is quite interesting. But Tom, who I went to university with at Bournemouth, he's a scriptwriter. And he basically had loads of scripts ready for me and him to basically bulk out and turn into actual like YouTube skits and things like that. And I might do a bit of filming, I might do a bit of acting in that. But that's kind of rejuvenated my ideas of posting on YouTube. And yeah, I've just kind of wanted to get involved again and start posting content, because I see people posting online and I'm like, there is a little gap there for like certain content, and I wanted to start building my channel so that I have an audience to post to when I make this good quality content, because I've got a lot of skits and a lot of programs that I've got in the back pocket, which I would need. Like you as much as anyone realizes that nowadays you might have a great idea, but
if no one watches it,
it's pointless. So I want to slowly build up an audience so that it has the opportunity to be very successful when it's posted, rather than posting it from zero consistent viewers. I'd rather have an audience that I can post it to and it do really well, basically. So that's where I'm heading with the whole YouTube side of things.
Sounds like perfectionism right there, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, because I realize, like, as much as like good content blows, and I've in the last year where I've tried to make some good content, I've posted it and got like 300 views, and I just think to myself, like, right, well, there's something going wrong here. It's either the thumbnail, which does have a lot to do with a video.
It's literally like 90% thumbnail, 10% title.
Yeah,
the content doesn't actually mean anything.
Well, that's the problem. Like when you have the content there, you kind of think, is it the thumbnail? Is it this or that? And then you then look at, if I've seen channels with similar videos to what I have, half the creativity and actually like making it a good video, half the enthusiasm of the actual host, but they have a channel that they've built up and have a lot of content on, and say they have like 50,000 subs, they post it and they might get like 500,000 views, and if that gets picked up with 500,000 views, pages like Lad Bible or I'm Just Bait then post it, and then that blows up, and it creates this social storm, and they benefit so much off the back of that. So I'm trying to follow down that path, and that'd be sick. I just said to myself, like, I've been trying to do it for the past like 5 or 6 years, get back into YouTube. And this is like my last solid go at it, because I've got the equipment now and there's no excuse. So I can remember like in 2012, I used to watch a guy called X-Jaws, who was a COD YouTuber, which at the time was pretty much the predominant
the biggest market.
It was the biggest market on YouTube.
Gaming was like
there was like gaming, there was vlogging had just started, so like Alfie Days and Zoella. They were just like kind of starting around that time. Like what's the South African guy? Casper Lee.
Oh yeah,
they were all starting their vlogging, but gaming was the start. And I can remember, so hilarious, this guy called Xjaws, who was actually really big at the time. He had 500k subs, and this was in 2012 when it was just tipping over the iceberg, and it was about to go like that.
Yeah.
I remember him saying, it's 2012. He was doing a Q&A, and this sticks in my head. And I remember him saying, someone commented, "Is it too late to start YouTube?" And I can remember him saying, "Unfortunately, I feel like it is too late to start YouTube. Like, it's a really bad time to start. That people are like, you have to have good quality videos to keep up with the market nowadays." And after that, like PewDiePie started YouTube. Like after that, and I can remember thinking, like 4 or 5 years later, look where PewDiePie is now. Like
110 mil or something.
Gazillionaire, battling with the whole of India to actually win the crown of being YouTube king.
First to get 100 mil.
And
that was so sick.
That kind of just inspires me now to think like, it is never too late. Just buck up your ideas and start making content and making videos that people would be interested in. And I'm just going with the vibes, bro.
Even since 2012. I mean, what? Mr. Beast was like 3 years ago.
Exactly. That's another one. Yeah, that's Mr. Beast has got the formula. Where people were taking their sponsorship deals and paying themselves, which you would. If you got 10 grand off Apex, what is it? No, not
Apex Legends.
Nah, not Apex Legends. What's
you
the
got
little
those from Honey?
Honey, what's the little fucking gaming thing with a? Oh God. Anyway, whatever it is, I wish I could quote it, but I can't think what it is.
Fortnite.
If you were getting 10k to do that for this podcast, you'd probably put it in your back pocket.
Yeah.
But the smart thing that he did, he used the 10k and he put it straight into another video.
Yeah.
And that formula now is like, that's turned him into a fucking millionaire. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The tax he must pay must be fucking insane. But
I don't even know, you know. I feel like because he reinvests all of it, it's just like, his tax sheet probably says he's got no income.
Yeah.
Or no profit, I guess.
How does he do it though? Does he, if he buys a car for someone else?
You say it's a business, right?
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
That's the levels at the moment. There was PewDiePie. Now there's Mr. Beast, and it just shows like he's like younger than us. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he's like a year below us or something.
Yeah, and he's the same age at least.
I don't think he started 3 years ago. He started just before that. He
started technically like 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
he didn't start doing his.
He didn't start uploading properly and being a YouTuber until like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. It was like counting to 1 million or something like that. Something stupid.
Yeah, like he said PewDiePie's name like so many times,
and he slowly evolved that channel into the biggest channel on YouTube, which is insane. But it just shows like it's never too late to start, and if you want to be creative, be creative.
Yeah.
As much as the market might seem saturated, it probably just is saturated for loads of kids who don't know what they're doing, and their time on YouTube will come at a lot later date. So you do your thing now.
Yeah.
Pump some content out, and by the time everyone's in a good position,
yeah. I feel like anyone. I mean, obviously the topics mean like YouTube, but in general, just doing things.
Just doing things.
Almost always
just
works.
Do it. Just do it. Make your dreams a reality. Fucking
I missed
Shire.
I wonder what he's doing now.
You didn't
do it. He didn't do anything, man. To be fair, I feel like YouTube's mostly like I haven't grown much. I was looking at my numbers the other day. It's like it's been the same basically all year, and like it's more about who you promote to.
Yeah, true.
Or like I guess how you promote as well, but more importantly who, because like a lot of my friends rarely share shit. I don't know if you've seen as well, like number of shares or comments like you get.
I haven't even. Like, I'm not massively deep into that yet, but I need to be. To be fair,
no, not even like proper numbers, but like just who commented on what, or like who's sharing what on Instagram.
Yeah.
And like if you just know the right person, like I did a podcast with a guy called Khaled, the last episode. He shared it on like LinkedIn, Twitter. Fucking hell, that's nuts. I got like 50 or so views in the first like 2 hours. I'm like, geez, man. I mean, 50 doesn't even sound like a lot,
but it is a lot.
But it is when you're starting.
Yeah.
And I was
like,
fucking hell, man.
Cool, man.
That's one thing that I want to do more. Like I mentioned to you last time I was here as well. Like you want to like collaborate more.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kavos.
Yeah. Collaborating.
Like 2 hours into the podcast.
Collaborating seriously is the way to go. Like if you've just, I can remember before YouTube became as on its high horse, would you say? It's very YouTube's very prestige. You know that type of that word, that using of the word. Yeah, like I remember the TGF bros. You know those guys?
Oh my
the Brummy lads?
Stocks and Shares loves to.
Does he?
Always playing it in the house, man.
Yes. So like, it's like those guys just, they were like, how did you get big on YouTube? And they were like, we literally like sub for sub. That was it. We sub for sub until we were like at a certain stage. We'd just go on people's pages and just say, do you want to sub? Do you want to sub?
Yeah.
Copy paste. And they were like, that like truly started off a platform where we had like a few, like a lot of thousand subscribers, so we could start producing this content. I can remember doing that myself back in the day, but like, we did that on it's too prestige nowadays, isn't it? Like if you did that, people were like, oh, you're, to be fair, there's bots nowadays, and I don't think that helps.
The bots don't help at all, yeah.
Like on Instagram, it's just everything is just bots.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to start somewhere, but yeah, collaborating probably helps because you're only going to reach more of an audience when you.
Yeah.
Like by me being on this podcast and you being on I can share him. I can make a video and say, "Oh, I was on Jordan's podcast." Yeah, go over and check his podcast out. I've got a few friends who now start watching your YouTube as well.
Mad.
Simple as that.
Yeah. That's the way. I think that's something that we're going to see more on YouTube after lockdowns and stuff at least.
People collaborating a lot more.
We kind of saw it with Team 10, was it? Jake Paul's one. Where he like bought this house and I had all his boys in there.
Yeah, true. Team 10, all that stuff. Like the Sidemen house and all that. That's what they're from. Collaborating with each other.
Yeah.
How mad's that?
I actually even forgot.
Now they're millionaires.
I forgot about them. Yeah.
Now they're millionaires.
Shout out Vixter, man.
Vixter, bro. Yeah, they started all that stuff, but weird, isn't it? And then there was all the gaming houses and like they're all millionaires.
Yeah.
Pays banks and all that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, mate.
All right, really Deji, if you're listening, I want to fight. On June 21st?
Yeah, but like, you know,
I want to fight Deji specifically.
You know that like that's Kavos was doing that with wanting to fight. I don't know who it was. He was like,
oh man,
Rice Gum. Because that's just like
that's actually funny.
Collaborating, isn't it? If Kavos went in and started like obviously Rice Gum's not going to do that to get beaten up, but like that's a way of collaborating. That whole boxing scene was a way of like everyone growing.
Because I think the first KSI Logan Paul was at the most streamed event of the year or something, wasn't it?
Crazy.
Like 500,000 fucking pay-per-view tickets. I was like, jeez, man.
That is crazy. Yeah, but maybe one day, like we've all just got to jump on it. You might be on a podcast with someone one day, and that will bro you like.
Sure, yeah.
Like what the Sidemen do with they'll like bring people on Sidemen Tinder or Sidemen Sundays, or I don't know what they call it. I watched one the other day where they did haircuts for people. And they brought out different YouTubers and just gave them haircuts.
Yeah. I saw that.
They've got the power to just like make someone's career, which is crazy.
That's what I want, man.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants just like. It's not like the whole Instagram share for share. You get followers. Followers don't really lead you anywhere, but like I guess if you had enough, you'd be able to start selling things. But with YouTube, you're able to like it's an audience that you can share to. Yeah, it's a community. Yeah. So it's completely understandable why like it's such a thing to gain subscribers. Cool, man. It's really cool. I've always loved it, and I think I always will.
Yeah, this is the year we both hit 1K, man.
1K. I mean, you're solid. I've just started, mate.
What am I on? 460, and I've kind of just stopped there for a while.
Nah, but the thing is, when you're at that stage, it's like keep producing the content consistently, which you have been doing, and eventually it gets picked up because there's always going to be a new audience to something.
That's true. Yeah.
The reason when I went to university, I was like doubting. I was doubting the subject. Like people kept saying, "Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse subject," yada yada yada. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I've got a stat here, crazy. I saved it. I always saved
Statman
it. Statman Jack. So I was like, oh, why am I going into media production? Like, why do I actually want to do it and not do an apprenticeship? And I thought to myself, I saw this stat. So the most dramatic so this was in 2016, just before I went to university. I saw this. The most dramatic positive change in our global economy is about to occur between 2016 and 2020. 3 to 5 billion new consumers who have never purchased, never uploaded, or never invented or sold anything are about to come online and provide a mega surge in the global economy. When I read that, I was like, okay, like I know why I want to I know why I want to go into media production because
there's a bag here.
It's all going to be online. Yeah, it's the future is online, and there is a bag here exactly. So
yeah,
I remember going to university like completely like you know when people try and say to you going to university, oh, it's not worth the money.
yeah.
You're never going to see that money. You're never going to have to pay that money. So like,
yeah, it's the phantom debt, I call it.
Phantom debt. That's a good way of describing it.
I'm just going to earn exactly 25.5K for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
For the rest of my pension.
I know a lot of people who came out of uni and got like solid 35k jobs off the back of uni, and it's just nothing. It's like piss. They're not paying back like anything. So
yeah, it's true. That should have been something you do in your degree. They just give you like a random product, say make a trailer for this.
But that's the point. Like, there's a whole subject of how Rick and Morty can like influence this new generation of like creatives because they are so creative. It's literally crazy. And Big Les as well. I love how creative they are.
That's funny, man. I got to watch more of that.
Yeah, I just introduced Jordan to some Big Les, and he's got a whole world that he needs to dive into now. Again, for the listeners, if you are listening at this point, you know, thanks for continuing to listen at this point. But yeah, if you enjoy Rick and Morty, or you know the kind of animated series on Netflix, or type in Big Les on YouTube. So really enjoyable. Have a watch.
Nice plug.
Yeah, I'm plugging as if I am Jared Wright. Am I Jared Wright? Who knows?
Who knows? I'm Banksy.
Yeah.
And this is Channel 5 News.
I mean, to be fair, the new Banksy popped up in pretty close to here, actually. Me and my girlfriend walked it.
Tottenham down?
Totterden or something like that, yeah. It had already been almost like vandaled. I mean, someone put like a plastic shield around it, but like someone drew like chicken legs on the wall in front of it. So like trying to take a picture of it just makes it look stupid now. So
yeah, that's annoying. I guess can just crop it out or something. But
yeah, I mean, I'm sure people just paint over the wall in front, but it's just it made for my pictures on the day just a bit.
Yeah, kind of ruined it. I've got to do a proper Banksy tour. That's one thing I like about Bristol. And I saw it a lot in the Bournemouth video you did for Baby Step. I'm like, there's some like really creative cities out there.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Hounslow is just so bad. I mean, Hounslow's not a city; it's part of London. London's actually quite good, but
yeah. No, Bristol's going to be one leg of the tour on the Baby Step tour. I think it's going to be our third leg of the tour.
Okay.
So it's good that I live here now, so I can kind of suss out the area before we kind of get involved. Because obviously Bournemouth, I've lived there for like 4 years. So
yeah.
I had connections, but when we're going to do London next, obviously when things open up again, and then Bristol third
September, man. September 2021, recording this.
Yeah, hopefully.
How was that? London, Bristol. You have Leeds, obviously, Manchester as well.
I think we're doing. So we did Bournemouth, London, Bristol, Liverpool. Is Liverpool below Manny? No, Manny, Liverpool, Leeds.
Okay.
6 legs, and then we're going to Amsterdam.
Oh yeah. That's vibes.
Those vibes. Very exciting stuff. Stay tuned, people.
Where can people find it? I guess. Baby Step YouTube page.
Yeah, it was posted to the. So yeah, if you don't know already, if you don't know now, you know. If you don't know, I helped basically Josh and the Baby Step team create. We're doing like a tour of the UK. Basically interviewing and finding artists from music, culture, anything. So for the Bournemouth episode, we interviewed a street artist who does big murals called Tech Moon. We interviewed a tattoo artist called Brandon. We interviewed a store owner called James, and who was like a vintage store owner, that is, sorry. And we interviewed a up-and-coming rapper called Jace. So that's like 4 examples, and then in between we just kind of like recorded the creativity in the city. But the idea is that we're going to go up and down the country and just kind of put a spotlighting artists and creatives, because a good way of sharing and growing yourself is by like we were saying, connectivity and collaborating with other people. And as you can imagine, obviously living around Bournemouth Bristol at the moment, so much art all around the city, and that's just on the walls. So I can only imagine what, like, when I moved here and I saw on the poster saying the creative revolution in Bristol is now, I remember thinking, right, okay, I can see why creatives want to come to the city.
Yeah.
So
so vibrant, man.
Yeah, such a vibrant city. There's so much going on, and I'm quite excited to do the next leg of the tour. Obviously, like I haven't even explored what the city's like when all things are open and stuff. So
yeah.
I've only been here when everything's closed down. So I'm quite excited to kind of explore when things open up again. But yeah.
Yeah, Bristol is really nice. And you do start to appreciate the niceness of places. At least this year, at least me personally. And it's like, I haven't really gone for walks much, but it's like when I was outside, it's like, damn, it's actually quite a nice place.
You've seen some light and you're like, oh my God, some vitamin D. It's creating all kinds of like potions going on inside my brain.
Something just smells good. What is that? Grass?
Yeah, it's not even been cut yet, you crackhead. No, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You begin to appreciate like the world a lot more when you're just looking at a screen for 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But even like walking around Hounslow these days, it's like you just want to be someone nicer. At least me. I don't know. Maybe you like Hounslow, but
no, there was always that
of Burger King.
No, I know what you mean. There was always that point of Jesus, I can't spit my words out. The reason I kind of moved from London during lockdown to Bristol was because I was kind of just sick of London for a while. Like I think because I'd came from university in Bournemouth, I came back to London for like 6 months during the first lockdown, and all I was doing was working. It kind of made me a bit bored because I was already used to my surroundings, but not only that, I was now living with my parents again, and not that that's like restrictive, but it's like
it just felt like a backward step, I guess.
It's like a backward step, yeah. So moving to Bristol was kind of like logical at that stage because I just wanted to move on and kind of like do something new, and it's been pretty shit, let's be honest. Like moving to a new city and not being able to do anything has absolutely sucked, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully once things move on, I can get a solid job.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan, and it will just make life a bit more easy because currently life's a bit boring.
Yeah. That's
why it's cool to be creative like we're doing. I know.
Yeah, man. That's actually quite funny because I feel like a lot of creatives, or maybe I'm just being a bit biased, but like in general, I feel like creative guys are doing better in the lockdown in terms of like we're just a lot less stressed.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
You can just do it. It doesn't really stop your life. You can still make a video or like a podcast or.
I agree, mate. I agree. Nothing's changed for like creative. Well, nothing's like Sean tells me nothing's changed for him. Was he on the podcast at the point where it was lockdown?
I think it was just after lockdown.
There you go. Maybe it was him at the point at that stage saying, "Oh, nothing's changed for me."
Yeah,
and like to be honest, a lot of industries, nothing has changed. Like I guess if you are working from home, what do you actually call that? You are whatever. If you are working from home, like nothing has changed. That's what I really want to do. I wish I had that kind of type of job because I am a very like I could see myself just working from home if I could. Yeah. Like the next door neighbours both work from home.
Oh man,
I'm so jealous. They just work for like I guess firms that don't require them to be in, and that I wish I had that throughout lockdown because you have the benefit of still working and still doing something.
Yeah,
but you don't have to deal with anyone. I wish I had that.
To some degree, I would prefer going somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. No.
But maybe that's because my office is my room. Maybe.
But that's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was an office that I was going to, but currently I'm working in a supermarket, so it's just like it sucks. Like, I wish I was actually doing what I wanted to be doing, but I can't complain. Job is a job.
Yeah. To be fair, that would be such a sick vlog. I mean, maybe because you're halfway into it now, but. If he was like, I graduated and now I'm working in the shop, and then like we just see how stressed you get
for the last 6 months.
Because I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I'm fucking so bored of this. And then the video just blows up.
In brackets, very emotional.
Bad ending. That's not a bad idea, to be fair.
Stacking shelves gone wrong. Just
maybe if I sort my job out and have to give my 2 weeks notice in, I've got 2 weeks to like vlog my last experience.
That'd be good.
There's an idea there.
Well, you should start 2 weeks before you quit and then be like, my last 2 weeks. Very emotional.
Very emotional. Gone wrong.
Must watch till the end.
Yeah, true. Oh, God. But yeah, is that all?
Calm,
is
like,
that
just
all?
past 2 hours. So.
Is that all? Any other questions before we? One last one. How would you like to be remembered?
I'd just be remembered. Fucking hell.
That's the true Geordie finish run. Right.
Really?
Last question for you, lad. How would you like to be remembered?
Fucking hell.
I would like to be remembered by that goal I scored in the first ever AVB match, where I baptised the goal with that finesse shot I got past Jason.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm joking. No.
Fuck Jason, man.
That's a joke.
Every episode every time I talk to someone from A-side, we got to say fuck Jason. Just
really? Oh really? All right. Jason, fuck you, man.
I'll put it in like ad-libs in the video somewhere. So like I'll be like, oh, so how was Bournemouth? You'll be like, oh fuck Jason. It's like completely out of nowhere.
All right. You actually cover what I say with like negative things I say. Yeah, fair.
When you ask me like, oh, so what do you think extreme art movies are? I'd be like, fuck Jason.
Fuck Jason. Fair. That's so random. He'll be listening like, what the fuck is wrong?
What's going on?
Really got under Jason really got under Jordan's skin at school. Bloody hell.
Nah, that's funny. It's because I think Josh said it. He said fuck B-side at the end of his podcast.
Oh, right.
And then Jason sent it to me. He's like, oh, I heard this, by the way. And I was like 2 hours in. I'm like, fucking hell.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, play's a trooper.
Fair play. Hey, fuck you, Jason. Or fuck B-side. We want a fucking rematch, man. To be fair, how do you think like we would all actually do in an 11-a-side game? Like, do you think? I mean, I don't know of anyone in both teams who does like still plays 11-a-side. There might be some people.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But it would be quite an interesting one if we all actually kind of trained. Everyone's required to do a 5k run, like a few 5k runs before the game, just so everyone has somewhat of endurance to actually get through the game. That'd be quite good.
That'd be sick.
Jason, make it happen. Leave a comment in the comment section if we should do an AVB number 4. It's the fourth return. Or we just do another John Proctor Cup when lockdown ends. I think that'd be a cool way of like...
I definitely want to do a little tournament again.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be really cool if we all did like a 7-a-side tournament. Everyone could definitely get 7 or 8 players.
Yeah, worst case, just take some from the other team.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's a great way to end it.
Yeah, nice wholesome ending.
Nice wholesome ending from school back to school. There you go.
Around full circle.
Yeah.
Actually, let me actually end it on this. What was your number one like school memory?
Number one school memory. Whew. It's so hard because like I said earlier,
infinite.
Yeah, nah.
And forgot loads.
Number one school memory.
Like if I just say St. Mark's now, what came to your mind?
What type of memory? Because I have different like drawers in my brain for different memories.
Yeah.
Funny. I would say that comes to my brain. A lot of ski trip holidays come to my brain.
Nice.
Because we did a lot of skiing. Me and Patrick, we spent a lot of time together on skiing.
That's nice.
Another one, probably, this is not one, but like, yeah, Dylan just springs to mind because it's just fucking, some of the shit he did was insane. Number one school memory. It's hard to say, man. I've just got for some reason, the playground just comes to mind. There's so much that happened in those walls that just reminds me of like good times. I honestly couldn't give you one, to be honest, mate. Just the whole thing was a good laugh.
Yeah. To be fair, I was thinking the whole time, what's my number memory?
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly the same.
There you go, exactly. If I asked you the same question, what about uni? What would be your one uni memory?
Oh man, uni's been, I don't want to say bad, but it's like, because school set the bar so high, like I thoroughly enjoyed school. I kind of thought I'd go into uni, make the exact same friends, but like a bit older. Like I thought school would be like recess and then uni would be like community. I assume you've seen both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it wasn't like that at all. Like to be fair, it's kind of my bad. I never put the effort in to make the friends that are like me. Yeah. Like I found a couple of guys that I liked. Yeah, you guys are cool. Let me just hang out with you. And I never actually did more than that.
Fair.
I guess my key memory, if any, would have been in the first year I was working at Domino's. I was doing night shifts. I quit the first time because the night shift was fucking long. I was starting work at like 7 p.m, finish at 5 a.m, and have lectures the next day. So that was
Jesus
a bit mad.
Christ.
Yeah, it's nuts. But there was a night where I think I finished early that shift, finished at midnight. So I went to the club, like no sleep. The Domino's hat still on, the uniform still on. So funny. I'm catching a wine with this girl. My friend's like, "Oh, Jordan." He's like, "You took the Domino's hat."
Got the pizza hat. You have been served.
Because he messaged me before I got there. He's like, "Come SDPX tonight, whatever." He's like, "Oh, it's not very good." Blah blah blah. I'll just come for the drinks, innit? He took my hat instantly. Like 3 girls start dancing on him. He's like tearing the club up.
It's the hat.
I was like, "Whoa!" The DJ starts playing like what song was it? Like, I don't mind.
Like dominoes.
That would have been fucking sick.
Whining on the song.
He started playing "Don't Mind," that Kent Jones song. That's the only song I remember from 2016. And it was
so many
fucking mad
cheesy club songs from back.
I just saw my Domino's hat being passed around, and the girls being passed around with the hat.
Oh god, uni it's wild, man. I mean, I'm the same. Like this, I know we were supposed to end it.
Yeah.
The whole,
I'll just like cut this whole bit.
Yeah, you can cut it and move it back. No, yeah. The whole of the start of uni was wild. Like I can like the first night I got to uni. I can remember thinking like, shit, man. Like Rory was coming the next day. I knew Jack McGinty, and he'd got into a flat, so he had people who was going out with a flat, and I was messaging, but he was bad with his phone at the time. Yeah. So I was in a hotel because I didn't get into hall straight away. I had to stay in a hotel for like 2 weeks, which was rough. Yeah, probably should have said this earlier. Yeah. Like the uni like overbooks, so like they rely on people dropping out.
Yep.
So I stayed in a hotel for like 2 weeks before. So my whole like first 2 weeks of freshers, I was in a hotel, and it was really rough. Like it was an old people's hotel, so it was hilarious but there was a pool there, and I could swim every day, which was quite nice.
Pretty sick.
But I couldn't really cook properly.
Yeah.
Anyway, cut long story short, my first few nights in Bournemouth in uni like during freshers were insane. Like it was wild. Not knowing an area, going out, everyone being out in the town. Like I feel so bad for students now who are doing freshers and they didn't get to experience that, because you make so many friends with random people. Not that you like stick to knowing them, but like I've got so many people in my contact book who I've just added on drunk nights out in freshers who I never spoke to again. But yeah, it was really good fun. But yeah, probably the best thing that came out of uni is my girlfriend and my degree.
That's cute.
Cute way to end it. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you've enjoyed, and go check out my channel as well. If you're still listening at this point, go check out my channel, Jack Chat on YouTube. I just chat about some random stuff, sport, or just being random and enjoyable. So yeah, if you like what you hear, come over. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening, guys. Bye bye.